Waiting for permission. Nobody's coming to save you. Now, let me ask you something real. Who told you that you had to keep doing what you're doing? Who gave you permission to stay broke? Because someone along the way decided that what? Your financial situation was fixed, that it was just how it is, that other people closing deals and building wealth, but not you, not yet. Not until conditions are perfect, not until you know enough. Maybe, hey, I got to figure this out, watch some more videos, more TikTok videos. Not until the market is better. Not until, right? I get that. It's one of those things. People just, they go through the shiny object syndrome. But I want to challenge that today because nobody's coming, right? Nobody is coming to ride in and hand you financial freedom. It's just not going to happen. Right? You got to swim out to your ship, swim out to your boat. If you're stuck on the shore, look, God gave you a mind, two hands, and an America full of motivated sellers sitting on properties that they cannot sell right now. It's happening. Right? What do you do with that? Well, that's on you, right? Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit here. I'm going to just tap into what I'm seeing across the United States of America. Most people watching right now, right, are in two places. Either they're learning about real estate for months, maybe years. I've heard that before, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and haven't closed the deal. Still learning. Still trying to figure this out. Or they closed the deal, got scared, and stopped. Now, both of those outcomes have the same root cause, right? It's not the market. It's not the timing. Not the credit score. It's the decision to wait one more day for the conditions, obviously, that will never be perfect, right? Waiting for the perfect storm. I've heard people say, hey, I'm saving up. I'm waiting for the market to crash and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Now, the people we honor in the AHA community, the AHA, Americans Helping Americans, they're not exceptional people. I'm not exceptional, right? They're ordinary people just like myself and others who made extraordinary decisions, right? They decided that waiting was more expensive than acting. They decided that $1,997 was a fraction of what staying stuck was costing them every single month. And they moved, right? And the system, the coaching, the mentoring carried them. Now, I'm going to share a couple of things with you today. We're going to get into it. I'm going to teach. I'm going to preach a little bit for the Sunday rants and raves on the Sunday sermon. Now, I may get fired up and drop an S-bomb or an F-bomb comes from a place of passion, or I may not. But the Amp Charter Accelerator is not a program for when you're ready. It's the thing that makes you ready. Tonight at midnight, the door closes at $1,997. Tomorrow morning, it's $12,997 at 12:01. Now, obviously, that's not a sales line. That's me, obviously, keeping a public commitment that I made. I said it live, and I've said it all over the internet. So the question is whether you're ready. The question is, how long are you going to wait? Or wait for a permission slip that nobody's going to give you. I say, in God we trust, AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and that's part of what we're all about. That's part of what we do here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get into a couple of things here and share some stuff with you. And we're going to do some teaching, obviously, but before I do any of that, before any content, I want to tell you something before we go anywhere, like I mentioned earlier, right? A few seconds ago, tonight at midnight, the Charter Accelerator closes at $1,997. I'm going to teach you for the next 90 minutes, and every word I say is a reason that number makes sense, okay? So hold that thought for a second. Let me go ahead and drop this into the chat. You're going to have both of the links. The first link is going to be the charter.amplivemedia.com. You can go there, go through it, click the buttons, and you can sign up. ASAP onboarding is automatic. And then it does say for a payment plan. If you want to make a payment plan, obviously it's in-house through Amplive Media. And they will be the ones that are going to go ahead and take care of that for you, okay? So then we're going to, obviously I want to share another thing with you really quick. And it's basically the AHA mission, right? Well, we are obviously AHA, Americans Helping Americans. You're AHA, you're Americans Helping Americans. But I want to tell you why I built this program, right? And it's not what you think. It's not because I wanted to build a business, because when I got started in 2003, obviously it's to fix, flip, buy it, and hold, and build a business and all that good stuff. AHA was born after that. It was born out of the ashes of the real estate crisis, if you want to call it, when 2008, the world shut down. 2010, 11, 12, 13, the market bottomed out, and there was tons of deals if you had cash. And then just seeing what was going on with the economy and people having 2 or 3 jobs and all kinds of stuff. And AHA was born. Americans Helping Americans, one America at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, was born back then. And that wasn't just because I wanted to build a business out of it, right? It's not because I found a gap in the education market, because that's something that I was like, man, I don't think I want to do that and babysit and do all that. I might as well just open up a brokerage. It's because I believe, and I genuinely believe, that financial freedom is the most American thing that a person can pursue. Not the pursuit of riches, the pursuit of freedom. That's the main thing. That's the reason why I did real estate, reason I want to do real estate. It's the reason why I talk to thousands of people every single year, and they say the same thing. Freedom, freedom, freedom. I want freedom. People are willing to pay the price. Well, most people are, and most people aren't, I should say. It's, you know, it's a given, or you got to pay the piper to get that freedom. Now, time with your family, that was the other thing. I want to spend time with my family. I remember those dimes. I remember fucking working several hours and working at a corporate job. Well, they get to take off, go watch a movie or go to Disneyland. I had to freaking work, right? And that sucked. So it's like, man, these kids are growing up fast. I'm going to lose all these years and not spend time with them. So I made a decision. I made a decision at that point in time. The ability, and also the ability to choose your hours, right? That was something that I didn't have a choice, because I signed up and I was working on a salary at the end of the day, through a corporate salary, and then working me 80, 90 hours a week. So it's, it sucked. And I'm sure maybe you're going through some of that, right? Maybe it's 2-3 jobs, right? But the ability to give generously, and I've done that too in the past with investors. I've done it with, sellers. I've done it with our people that work for me and things of that nature, right? The ability to say yes to your kids without looking at your account first. All right. That kind of freedom is what I wanted and what I got. That's what I'm offering you today. That's the AHA mission. That's Americans Helping Americans. And that's the kind of life, and I'm sure that life that you want to build as well. So, but the people who need this most are not watching, I guarantee it, probably not watching those fancy financial shows, right? They're working doubles, triples, have 2-3 jobs. They're driving to a second job. They're telling the kids right now for the 100th time, right? Not right now, not right now, not right now. They opted into maybe a free calculator and downloaded the calculator because something that they said, of something in their head, that there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. I know I used to think that, and I did that. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. And that's what pushed me towards real estate again, and kept pushing me towards real estate, And that person, let me tell you, the person who is for this program, who I built this program for, not the wealthy investor looking for a tax strategy. It's the person who had one bad month or away from a crisis and knows it, right? So, bear with me as we move forward into this. I'm going to get into some of this training. So I wanted to share this with you first, and then we're going to get into some training. I'm going to break out the calculator. I'm going to break out a deal and all that good stuff. And we're going to break it down and show you where the money's at in some of these deals. Now, creative real estate, SubTo, seller finance, wholesale, these strategies, right? They don't require credit, and they are under the creative real estate investing umbrella, right? So they don't require a down payment. Like I mentioned, right? I actually said credit. They don't require credit. They don't require down payment. They require knowledge, courage, and a system, some mentoring, some coaching. The first two are already inside you, right? You got those. You understand and know what to do with that. The third one is what we provide. And when one American uses the system, the coaching, the mentoring to close their first deal, right? That's not just a financial event. That's the generational shift. That's the things where if people say, my dad used to say, hey, you need to go to college so you can get out of the ghetto and stuff, right? And I said, well, I don't think college is for me. I want to go this different route, right? And then their kids grow up in a different household, and the mission is different, right? That's the mission right now for AHA, Americans Helping Americans. It's always been the mission to help our fellow Americans, to help them open up their eyes so they can see that they can get themselves out of these situations, and they don't have to be suppressed to what's been given in the United States of America. Now, obviously, it's the greatest country in the world. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, right? But that's what manifested into AHA, Americans Helping Americans, by seeing all that and going, you know what? And then knowing what I've done and what we've done with creative real estate investing and real estate investing, just real estate in general, and going, man, there is a better way. Okay. So everything I described, that is what's inside the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, and what the accelerator was built for. And that's why I decided to launch that since last month. And tonight at midnight, $1,997 now and $12,997 after, right? That's it. One is the price of the system, right? The other is the cost of not having it for another year. Can you imagine not having it for another year and spinning your wheels? Put that inside of the chat. You can get a hold of it. You can download it and get started right now today. Click the link. Onboarding is automatic. It's easy. Once you're locked in there, you're going to be introduced to myself. We'll do a call, and we're and then start absorbing all the information. And then I believe today's Sunday. So Tuesday there'll be a support day. Wednesday we'll do deal analysis. Friday we're going to do some live coaching that's going to be from the program. And since this is a hybrid of, and I made that promise publicly, a hybrid of our one-on-one mentoring program, that yes, you're going to get some of that one-on-one love. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get into some of the teaching here on the SubTo opportunity, right? SubTo market, seller finance, creative real estate investing in general, and why elevated rates created the best motivated seller environment in 20 years. Okay. Rate, locked homeowners, the NOD pipeline. One specific deal. That's what we're going to do is they're going to share one deal with you. And I'm going to share the ARV, maximum allowable offer, subject to adjusted offer. And that's in module 2 and module 4 of the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. Once we get done with that, I'm going to go ahead and share a few more things. We're just going to go through the show, give you some highlights of what the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator is all about. And we're going to get into a little bit of how this is going to work. 1 second. Let me go ahead and pull it up. I'm going to pull up the deal automator for us. There we go. This should be it. All right. So nope, that's okay. That's the page that you can go to get the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. This one should be it right here. Or is it here? This should be it. Oh, I got to pull it up. Okay, there we go. Can you see it now? No? Okay. Where's it at? It should be right here. All right. Let me do this. Let's switch this out. Oh, I'll just go here and let me see. Where's the calculator? It should be right here. Hold that thought for a second. Should be here. All right, there it is. We're going to share this tab instead. All right, so this property is actually a pre-foreclosure. I chatted with the seller today, or the owner today. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. It should be, and we'll go through it. Okay. Let me go ahead. Now, if you can see that, if you can't see that, I'm going to go ahead and switch this up and move it down here so you can actually see a bigger picture of it. Okay, there it is. Okay. So let me go back to the property. So this property is in the Inland Empire. Okay. Obviously, this calculator is live. If you want to get a hold of it, you can. It's going to be down in the excuse me. Whoops. Press that. It'll be down in the chat. But this property is probably valued. ARV is about $600,000. Current market rent's about $3,100. Take that zero out. That's why it's 42% profit margin, right? Imagine, right? 32. The existing mortgage is about 246 and some change. Interest rate's about 3.9% interest. Monthly payment and PTI, it's about almost 20. Monthly, I think it's around 2,000 some change, $2,100. Now the purchase price for this property, obviously, this right here is $246,000. Is the existing mortgage payment, right? Now we have to making an offer on this property. Obviously, there's two components. There's two people that need to get paid on this property. But if they don't do anything, they're going to lose it because it's going to go to free foreclosure. And we're going to go ahead and put down here, 346. We're going to put 415 because if we put 415, even if we went with that, then 15,000 is going to be more than $15,000 cash to the seller at closing. I'm going to put 0 for right now because that's going to be built into the 15. And then we're going to go ahead for the exit, about 2.5. Yes. Seller concessions, staging, seller costs, and comps. We'll go from there. All right. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. That's not going to be the gross profit. We got to go with this here. Where are we at? 415. Yeah, this is going to change. So I'll go ahead and purchase price. We got 600. We got 31. Is that right? 246. Purchase price. Catch-up arrears 23,000. Rehab cost is that? I got that at 10,000. That's going to be another zero. Actually, it's 100,000. It's going to change a little bit there. And then we're going to be at 415, 515. Cash to seller. Oops. I got the, I'm going to do that. That should change it. 125. I have to adjust the offer. That's usually going to be 246. We're going to adjust it to existing mortgage. And then the bank payments, so 250. So coming out to still 9%. All right, 125. This is going to drop. Oh, it's a weak deal. I'm going to go ahead and change this. Just getting a little better as we massage it. And we'll go ahead and look at this. It's about 13.5% margin, marginal, lower your price. Paying too much for it. It's SubTo. It's cash flowable. We're going to go and look at this over here with the cash down to the seller and all that good stuff. We're going to go gross profit 81,000, 13.5% interest rate, or I should say profit margin, and active duty days on the market are low. So it's not looking too bad. Let me make sure. We'll see what we got on the screen here. If it's showing up, it's not showing up. Okay, you couldn't see it. All right, there we go. Let's do this then. Let's do it again. We'll roll through it one more time so you can actually see it. I had the wrong screen up. All right, so there we go. So we'll go to the top. So on this particular property, now this is obviously live. When you become a member or you join the AmpLab Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, you're going to get the live version. You're also going to get a downloadable version which has 4 tabs. And that's what we like to use, but I'm going to use this because it's a lot easier so you can actually review it and see it. Now, the after repair value is about $600,000. Current market rent's $3,100. Existing mortgage $246, 3.9% interest rate, $2,000 monthly PITI payment. That's principal plus interest, taxes, and insurance. Purchase price $275. Your offer. Now, what we're doing that for is because we're actually going to take over the property subject to existing financing. Now, obviously, I can change this, right? I can change the property and make it. Hey, what are we willing to pay? What is the maximum allowable offer at the end of the day for a property like this, right? And that'll be inside of your deal automator. And let me see if I actually got that real quick. Let me see. Oh, it's pulling up. Okay. You can't see it, but it's okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll do this. We're going to close that. Oh, it's right here. Is that it? Nope. There's this one here. Okay. So, and we'll go down to the rehab section, which I know you can't see this. So I have to figure out how to be able to show the spreadsheet. We'll do that maybe on another live. But ARV, let me see. We're going to go with the maximum allowable offer, and we're going to go do this real quick and punch it in from these hours. I'm pulling it off of the spreadsheet that we had. All right, so cash to the seller, $100K, cash up arrears, $23,000, and then we're going rehab. This one's pretty high rehab, but that's if you're going to actually do the full rehab at $100,000. and that's because there's some things in the property like electrical, plumbing, and a few other things that need to be done. The inside of the property, there's some drywall issues and things of that nature. I guess that because they tried to do some repairs and didn't finish the repairs. Then we're at 13.5%. It says marginal lower price. So let's say if we want to lower the price, and we'll go this with the 75,000 to the seller. Then obviously it's going to move a little bit, right? We're up to 17%. And then obviously we go down here. We want to see the return investments 86. But if we're obviously going to try to give the seller some more money, even if we went up to 125,000 for the seller, and that'd be some cash now and some cash later, cutting up some checks now and then fixing up the property, put it back on the market, and reselling it and looking at a profit of maybe 78,547 with a 13.1% profit margin, and that is net. It says gross, but it's net. We'll get that fixed. The velocity of all that means is that days on the market are a little lower. So I believe they're at, let me double check with the days on the market real quick for this particular property. This is going to be the market. I know you can't see the screen. I'm not going to share it. Probably could, I guess, but then it's going to bring up the address and can't do that. So days on the market are about 64.5. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say 65. I'm going to put that down here where it says average days on the market, 65 days on the market, and see what it does with the actual offer, 13.1. But it's going to change this down here, probably moderate market. Days on the market velocity, it says moderate. So it did change. Comp spread, right? Moderate change. And obviously it comes with the ABCD scorecard. This is calling it a C because we're offering more for the property, right? Like 75K. And then the 100,000, 120, I should say the rehab. Whoops, that's 125. Let me change that back to 100. Wrong one. Okay, so we'll go right there. And that's going to be 100K. See what that says. Now we're up to about 17. It's still marginal. Profit's good. It's not bad. 17.7% interest or return on investment. So it's not a bad return on investment at the end of the day. It's pretty good, right? Let me go back over here, and then I'm going to go right over here. And drop this right here. So we're looking at, and SubTo. SubTo is just a good way to go. It's seller financing, subject to existing financing and all that good stuff. You can do the wraps. A lot of these are going to be like that because interest rate, look at the interest rate's pretty low. He's owned the property for a while. He's going through some issues. I won't get into the personal stuff, but at the end of the day, it's going to have to do something. Reinstate, do the loan mod, do the trial payments. But eventually he's going to have to sell the property after, according to our phone call. Okay. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and everything. Basically, actually, that's module number 2 and 4, right? You don't have to piece it together, from YouTube videos. It's one system. It's the accelerator. It's the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. It's $1,997 tonight. I'm going to go ahead and drop those links in there again so you have them. And I'll put those in the chat as well. Make sure that I got that. Is it right there? There it is. Okay. And the payment link is there. So definitely take advantage of that. I'm going to go ahead and obviously share a couple of things with you. Like obviously, earlier or yesterday, we were talking with the young man and the other young man that's in Rancho who setting appointments, making calls and things of that nature. So they're seeing their little wins, and that's how this works. We move forward and make those phone calls and take the sellers, do the mission to submission. As you move forward, that's going under contract. We'll go through the process and share that with you through the Facebook groups. Once you come aboard, you're going to be able to have access to a lot of this stuff that I'm sharing with you right now. It's easy and it works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up, which I already did. I'm going to pull it up again. I'm going to pull up the calculator. I think it's still up. Let me take a look, make sure it's still there. Okay, yeah, we got the calculator pulled up. I'm going to go ahead and walk through a deal, which we already did. And the scorecard, basically, you can see that it's an A versus a D deal. D's you want to pass on, but this is a C deal, so it's not bad. It's over 50,000, which hits the numbers of the average in the East Coast and West Coast, around 55, 65,000 bucks. The Midwest is about 30, 35 if you can get it. Some people are willing to do 25. Heck, there's some people, investors here in California, that are willing to do 25,000 bucks, 35,000 bucks, and they're fine with it, right? And it's a different type of LTV there. So hopefully you're writing this stuff down, taking some notes, okay? And I want to go ahead and kind of share something with you, and that's going to be the stack, the offer stack that we have with the Amplified Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, right? So I'm going to share basically everything with you. I'm going to go through it with you, okay? It's going to take a little bit of time. The 9 modules, talk about the funding partner, the AHA community, 30-day challenge, lifetime access, and all of it is $1,997. Okay, once again, I already dropped those links in there, so you're good to go. And if you've been watching so far, you've been watching what's going on through the internet, and even on here, we're probably, I don't even know how many minutes we're into it, right? And if that hasn't clicked, text me personally, okay? Give me your number live, and I'll go ahead and chat with you, work with you, get you rolling. Put it in the chat if you see this, or if you're watching this video and going backwards and forwards and just watching, going, okay, man, yeah, shoot me a video or shoot me your number. You can DM it. If you have my number, reach out, shoot me a text if you need to, or it's an email, you shoot me a text, right, and we'll get into it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and drop the whole stack for you. And then I know you're not going to probably be able to see it, but I'm going to go over it with you so you can understand what it's about. This is going to be the Amplified Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, the full value stack. Then I'm going to tell you what each module is actually worth, right? So let me see if I can pull that up possibly, or I'm not sure if I have that screenshot up because I know you can't read it. I don't think, but maybe I can pull it up and we'll take a look. Let me see if it comes up. Let me see if I can do that. Here. Oh, well, we'll do this here and see if I can share that tab and see if it shares. And we'll go from there. Okay. That's it. Let me move it up here. I know you're probably not gonna be able to see it, but I'll pull that up right there. Let me pull that up right there in the corner. Is it not working? Oh, it takes forever, huh? Okay, so I'll pull that up right there. Is it not there? Okay, I'll pull it over here. See if it comes up now. Now we're seeing, okay, let's see if we can see it. Right there. It's right there. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see if we can read it. Probably not. It's very, but I'll go through it with you anyways, okay? Amplified Real Estate Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, the full stack. Module number 1, it's all about mindset and mission. It has the PMA framework and Napoleon Hill's 17 principles, Think and Grow Rich applied to real estate investing. Just that standalone course just to get you going because it's super important to have your mindset rocking and rolling is a value of about $497. It's powerful. I still read books. I have these books here, Think and Grow Rich, and then 17 Principles of Success, which is is here, Napoleon's 17 Principles, is a business guide. It's more like it's not to replace the Bible, but it's a business guide that once you read it, and I will share with you right now just a pro tip on how to read those books. Not like you don't know how to read, but audio and video both work together. But there's nothing like touching a book and reading it and smelling it and underlining it and reading it all the way through one time. Okay, once you read it one time, let me go ahead and do this for a second. If you can see me right here, here you go. See the book. You read it, you touch it, right? And then you read it all the way through one time. And then you read it a second time, you start highlighting stuff that pops out. You read it a third time and you start writing in the corners, right? And then you probably can't see it, but I will write in the corners. I'll date it and I'll say, I need to do this, need to implement this. And that's the third time. The fourth time, I'll go ahead and read it, and then I'll read it all the way through. And then I'll start looking at some of the stuff that I wrote in the corners. And sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's years, right? And you go, wow, okay, I should have implemented that a long time ago. And then you have it as a business reference. Then you go back to it and you go through it. Now it's a reference guide, right? But as they say, you only retain about what 15-20%. Don't quote me on that. 15-20% of what you read and what you study and what you look at, right? And what you remember. It's downloaded like a computer, but you're not going to remember it. So if you read it over and over, you're making it part of your course, like you're studying it. You're studying the book. And that's the only way you can, be honest with you, is to make those books stick. All right. So module number 2, motivated seller acquisition, NOD list, absentee owners, tired landlords, probates, cold call scripts, door knock scripts, objection handlers, daily pipeline system. Standalone course is valued at about $29.97. That's $2,997. Module 3, deal analysis and the SubTo fix and flip calculator that you probably have downloaded. If you haven't, go download it. If not, it's going to be in the AmpliFi Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator, along with the live version and a version that you download on your desktop or computer or laptop, doesn't matter. It's the ARV methodology, maximal allowable offer at 60, 65, 65, 70, and 75 cents on the dollar, because you can go higher when you're going subject to and seller finance or just creative real estate investing in general. As a deal scorecard from A to D, like I showed you, you saw the calculator, you know what it's about, and you'll know the right offer in under 3 minutes, like I just did. You're able to punch in all the information, pops out in under 3 minutes. Standalone course for that is about $1,997. Module 4 is subject to financing, complete legal framework, paperwork, seller conversion, exit strategies, hold, seller finance to end buyer, first call to the closing table. Obviously, that's super valuable. Okay, that's where like the secret sauce is at on module 4, and that's valued at a standard course value of about $4,997, about $5,000. Module number 5 is seller finance, deal structuring, balloon payments, seller as lender conversions, amortization, wraparound mortgages, all that good stuff for the seller finance. The standard course value is about $29.97. That's $2,900, around $3,000. Module number 6, wholesale and assignment. These are things that are in the AmpliFi Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator, and things that come with it, that come with this program, which is astronomical. It's crazy. It's pennies on the dollar. I don't think anybody's really doing this. End-to-end wholesale system, assignment contracts, buyer list building, double close strategy, $5,000, $20,000 per deal without ownership. You're just selling paper. Standalone course value is $3,000, about $2,997. Module number 7, lease options. We're throwing lease options in here. We're going to, because you need to have those extra strategies, right? It's part of the funnel. It's part of the rock and roll AmpliFi method funnel. Lease options, Sandwell leases, rent to own, lease option exits, passive income from properties you don't freaking own. It's awesome. Standalone course value is $1,997, about $2,000. Module number 8, VIP execs deal funding, hard money access, burst strategy, bridge lending, day one partner relationship. Market value of relationship building alone is about $5,000. Module 9 is the 30-day challenge, structured 30-day accountability program. Post your first deal, get live feedback, close or get reviewed directly by myself. Yes, Erick Jimenez will do that for you. Standalone coaching value, just the coaching value, is $3,000 plus. AHA school community, live investor community, deal feedback, accountability, Q&A, the room where implementation happens. The annual mastermind value is $5,000 to $10,000 a year. Super valuable. It's awesome. It's better than a country club. Lifetime access. Every new module, every going forward, pay once, own forever, perpetual value. That word perpetual value is crazy. It's priceless. The perpetual value does go with the word priceless, because it is priceless. Having a mentor is priceless. I know it was priceless to me. But if I had to put a price on what it cost me for my mentor, it's about $500,000 or $500,000, because that's the amount of money that I made him. Well, I got my little chunks of $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 checks. Personal access, text Erick, myself, when you're about to make your first offer. Value of a real estate mentor relationship, well, it varies, but it's not free. Total perceived value is about $25,000 to $30,000 plus. I know, we know, you know what's out there. Trust me. Some of these other programs are $50,000, $75,000, and more. All right, charter price tonight, $1,997, or 3 payments of $747 through school. Actually, it's not through school. I'm sorry. It's actually through Amp Live Media. We're actually going to be carrying if you need to make a payment. Right now, the charter price is $1,997, and that's just until midnight. At midnight, it's gone forever. Or you can make 3 payments of $747. That'll be in-house financing through Amp Live Media. We will carry for you. It does come out to be a little bit more. I think it's like $2,300 for doing that for you. And after midnight is $12,997 permanently. All right. And obviously, I'm going to go ahead and drop those links down there. Rock and roll and all that you do. In God we trust. AHA, Erick Jimenez, Amp Live Media. Yes, I am reading this down here because that's what it says. Being honest with you, I'm going to go ahead and put the link, or I'm going to put the link to go ahead and pick it up at $1,997, which is awesome. All righty. So I'm going to go ahead and switch up gears here a little bit, right? And if you're waiting for the perfect conditions, you know, it's not going to happen. It just doesn't. Okay. You don't need permission. I'm going to share with you AHA. You already kind of understand what that's about and what we do and why AHA is and why we do what we do. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do some more teaching in a little bit. We're going to talk about motivated seller acquisition, NODs, absentee owners, tired landlords, probates, etc. But before I do that, I need to share this with you. One second. All righty. There we go. Got it pulled up here. I'm going to go through it and share it with you. Oh, 1 second. We got here. Got it pulled up. Whoa. All righty. Almost there. All right. So we'll get into a little bit of this. I'm going to share it with you. I'm just going to be a little brutal. Hopefully you don't mind. But I know I was here. I was there. I know what it feels like. I know where you're coming from. You know, right? The job is a lie. They told you you're trading time for money was the plan. They told you to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work hard, save money, retire at 65. Maybe if the 401k holds, which it didn't in the last cycle because everybody had 401ks, went to shit and they got squashed. And a lot of the baby boomers actually had to go back to work and go back to building a business again and doing all that good stuff because they lost all their money in the 401k. If Social Security is still there, if your house stays, if, right? You know what the plan actually is. It's a 40-year sentence with a pension at the end. If you're lucky, most pensions disappeared. My father-in-law ran a big company and all this good stuff and was a supervisor for this factory. And at the end of the day, hired a bunch of people in the neighborhood. And he was supposed to get a pension, right, and retire with a bunch of money and have retirement, enjoy retirement. Instead, they sold the company. And when they sold the company, they restructured everything. So all the pension money went to shit. They got rid of it. They moved it. They used it. They stole it. They did whatever they needed to do. And he got some severance pay, that a boy, and then got booted at, I don't know, 65 years old or whatever it is. Had to go back to doing what he did when he got out of the Navy, which was what? Carpentry. Using his hands. And started working for investors and helping them rehab their properties. Same thing happened to my other father-in-law, right? He ended up getting replaced by younger people. He was a construction guy, a foreman, making all kinds of money, traveling here, there, and everywhere. And they ended up replacing him with the guys he hired, right? Same thing. And had to retire. And even now still works at like a school doing handyman shit and all kinds of stuff. And I think he's almost like 80 years old or some shit, right? So it happens. When I knew that was happening and I saw a trend, I said, you know what? That's not going to be me. I don't care what it takes. But, I don't know. Everybody's different, right? So if you're lucky and the whole time you're building someone else's dream, making someone else's company more money, giving someone else your best hours, look, I'm not angry at the people who taught you that, right? They believed it too. But I'm telling you, that plan was not designed for your freedom, not designed to give you freedom. It was designed to keep you compliant. It was designed for compliance. It was designed to control. It was designed to control most of these Americans, most of all of us, right? And I know a lot of people are waking up to, hey, this is bullshit. This is crazy. What's going on, right? How many are trading Monday through Friday, even Monday through Friday, and even Saturdays and Sundays, right, for a number that doesn't change your life? How many are one medical bill away from financial disaster, right? Medical bills are insane. That's bullshit. I've seen some medical bills where you go in for this and that, and a couple of pills and all this stuff, and they send you a $10,000 bill. It's highway robbery. It's what I like to call the fleecing of America. How many of you calculated what your time actually is worth per hour and felt sick? Right? That's the wound. That's the thing. We don't talk about it. We don't say it out loud, but we feel it every Sunday night when Monday is coming. We dread Mondays. That's why people hate Mondays. I call them Chinese Mondays, right? It's usually, hey, you know what? We're not going to want to work. I'm not going to work. Should I work? You know what I mean? But you get prepared for the week. You wake up and you go and you do what you need to do, right? And it sucks, But actually, then when I started doing real estate and then looking at my hourly rate, because I was working on a salary. So if I'm working on a freaking salary and I'm working for 45 hours a week and it's a salary, but then they work me 50, 60, 70, 80. They worked me all the way up to 90 hours a week. That's pennies on the freaking dollar for what I was doing. And then I said, this has got to stop. So I made the jump. I had a leap of faith. I did my study. I did whatever I needed to do. I wasn't even fully prepared. And here's a pro tip for you. You're never going to be fully prepared. I need to have all my ducks in a row. That's bullshit. And I confirmed it with others that were multimillionaires and said, hey, do you have to have all your ducks in a row to have a business? They said, no, just have some ducks in a row. So you're never going to have them all. That makes no sense. You never get started. You got to have some ducks in a row, something to work with, and then go for it, right? And that's where you're at right now. You got some ducks in a row. You're making a decision. It's all about making a decision right now to do what you know you need to do. And Monday's coming. Monday's tomorrow. Tonight, in 1997, it's gone, right? Real estate investing, specifically creative real estate investing, is the only system I've found in 20 years, right, that lets an ordinary American escape the trade, escape the matrix, escape whatever you want to call it, right? Not by quitting your job tomorrow. Come on, that'd be silly. I didn't quit my job. I had to still work and do my stuff, right? I just decided to say I'm going to replace my extra 40 hours with 40 hours or 45 hours on a job. And then I'll spend another 40 hours, since I was already working 90, I'll spend another 40 at my gig, at building my real estate business, right? And spending the time to do that. So it's not by taking crazy risks either, right? Not like me. Don't do what I did. Mine was a crazy risk. By learning a system that puts you on the other side of what? Motivated seller conversations, and converting those conversations into cash assignments, SubTo deals, rental income. One deal. That's the shift. You need to make that shift. We are going to go through shifts in our lives as we move forward, right? And we're going to get stuck, and then we're going to get unstuck, and we're going to get stuck, and we're going to get unstuck, and we got to make shifts so we can do what we need to do to maneuver in this beautiful thing we call life. The Charter Amplified Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator is 9 modules. The system I used, right? The system the AHA community members are using right now. It's $1,997. One payment. That's it. One freaking payment. Or you can make 3 payments of $747, and we're going to finance you in-house through Amp Live Media tonight at midnight. That's the price of getting the system, the coaching, the mentoring. Those are extra bonuses that I should have said, but now that I've said it public, I have to honor it, right? And I probably shouldn't have done that, but hey, that's, and I'm getting gruff from it as it is, And even right now, I'm hearing it. So compared to what another year of the W-2 plan costs you in time, opportunity, and self-respect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop that in to the chat again. Okay, and then we're going to get into a little bit more coaching, and we'll go from there. So we got here. I think my timer is going to go off. Let me go ahead and pop that in there. So you have it, utilize it, jump on it. Oh, okay. So we're doing that. So it must have dropped off on my Facebook, and it does that. So you're going to have to catch the replay. It's all good. I'm on a roll. This thing kicks us out of Facebook, but hopefully it says offline. So it's just going to you're just going to have to catch the replay if you're watching from the Facebook platform or on YouTube, LinkedIn right now, a few other platforms. Let me see what we got. Oh, did I share it? No. Let me go ahead and share this. There it is. Oh, you can see my face a little bigger. Okay. Is it rolling? Hopefully. Let's see. All right. We're going to get into what else we get into next? Let me see. All right. So we're going to get into some more motivated seller acquisition stuff, right? Maybe we'll go a few minutes on this motivated acquisition. We're going to talk about NODs, absentee owners, tired landlords, probates, where to find the list, right? What to say in the first 30 seconds. The script from module number 2. We're going to talk about the AMP Live method. You listen 70%, they talk 30%. Show, right? So obviously, I'm going to show you the flow. I'm going to pull it up right now. We call it our SubTo secret training. I'm just kidding. No, it's true. It's a top secret shit. All right, this we're going to go ahead and show that it's actionable. We're actually going to show you this stuff, right, and how you can do it with a simple phone in the list. And then we're going to go ahead and drop something special in here, which is for our sponsor segment. And let's see what I got here. We got right here. Where's it at? There it is. Boink. I got it. Got it pulled up. Boom. Bada bing, bada bang. All right. Subject to fix and flip top secrets flip system training and webinar Decaruni. All right. So the problem the market has created. Now, this is just a little bit of agenda, and this is the stuff that we're going to share with you. The problem this market created. One second. All right, brief intermission. So the problem, look, let's get into it, right? We're going to get into those NODs and all that good stuff. How are you going to find them? Where are you going to do it? Where are you going to get the list? But this is going to solve it all. The problem this market has created, right? That's the lock rates and all that good stuff, rising NODs, why SubTo, the owner, should say SubTo is the answer right now. The AMP Live SubTo calculator, which you've already taken a look at, maximum allowable offer, the deep dive, ARV repairs, all that good stuff, right? 5 ways to find. We're going to chat a little bit about that. 5 ways to find motivated sellers. That's number 4 in this whole little system here. How to talk to sellers, right? You need to understand how to do that. We call it the mission is the submission. We call it the AMP Live method on how to get them to tell you everything from birth until now. And then obviously the SubTo deal structure that is here. It's actually in the deal vault as well. It's going to show you how to structure those deals. And basically taking over the existing loans legally, correctly, how to put the property into a trust for legal and tax purposes, right? How to avoid the due on sale and alienation clause. And we're going to share with you on what parts of the actual contract and where it shows it that some of these things are exempt. And when you put the property in trust for legal and tax purposes, becoming a trustee, beneficiary, the responsibilities, and how to work that and word it to a seller so they understand it and feel comfortable about it, right? Because a lot of times they'll say, well, hey, what's going to happen to you is make sure you make those payments, right? You got to make sure you make those payments for me. How's that going to work? So here's a simple way of defusing that or having a rebuttal is basically going, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm an electrician. Okay, great. So when you go to work every week and you go and punch in, and at the end of the week you get a check, right? Yes. Okay. So if you go to work every week, you're relying on a check every week at the end of the end of the week, right? Yes. Okay. So what does that mean? We're going to do the same thing. We don't get paid. We're writing out checks first, right? To reinstate or give you money or some money down or whatever it is. Some cash now, some cash later. And then we're going to fix up the property and we're going to put it on the market. Then we got to go through all the process. We don't make any money until we sell the property. We're responsible for the property. So that'd be like me. Are we going to do all that stuff and not get paid? Wait for an answer. Then you say, no, that makes sense. Yeah. And it's more than just a paycheck. This is like tens and thousands of dollars that we need to write out before we even get a check back, right? There's expenses, the commission, the holding costs, the money. The money's not free. We got to pay for all those things. Every day we have that property after you write a check is costing money. Keeping the lights on, paying insurance, right? 30 days, every day it costs money. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. After 90 days, if we put a 3-month or a 6-month pad on that, all that means is that what's going to happen? After 6 months, we put all those numbers in there. After 6 months, then it starts costing money. It's costing from day one. But if we got a 6-month pad in there, that means we know what our profit's going to be if we hit 6 months. If it goes past 6 months, it starts cutting into profit. If we get it sold in 30 or 60 or 90 days, let's say it's 60 days. That's cool. We got 3 months of extra love in there that's going to go to the bottom line for us and our investors, or even you, right? So those things are super important, right? So when we're doing this stuff, it's important to understand and know how to share this with the sellers. We like to call them, magical words, and it's just how you say things and how you approach. And if you listen, you'll understand. That's why I said 70% listen, 30% talk, right? It's called the AMP Live method. Then we're going to get into VIP execs funding options, right? Hard money, conventional, all that good stuff. The Charter Act. Now, this is cool because the Charter Accelerator, the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator has a 30-day challenge, right? Your path from zero to your first or second or third or fourth deal. Now, let's get into this a little bit. Let's move on to the next slide here because I want to share this with you. I don't want to take too much money. I got too much time. Yeah, time is money, obviously. And here's the leads. This is why we have leads. 12 million rate lock sellers. NODs rising. Their filing is rising. They're filing more and more NODs. Days on the market climbing. Freddie and Fannie, I believe it was, or the government foreclosed on 44,000 properties last week or the month before or the week before. You got to know your numbers before you talk to the seller. Super important. That's what the calculator is for, which we already went through. Obviously, your simple look. It says right ARV. That's for your standard fix and flip. 65 for conservative high risk. 75. You can go 75. You can go 80. You can go as high as 85. Then if you got to go higher than that, you can novate. That's for your SubTo stuff. Now, obviously, the scorecard that it gives you on the calculator is going to be A, B, C, and D. We were at a C, 12 to 17% profit margin. With what we showed you earlier on a property. That's a live property. I just got off the phone about an hour ago with the seller. Works only with perfect execution, no surprises, renegotiate on price or terms, walk away if the seller will not move. Okay, it's telling us to renegotiate. That's okay. Because look, some people they're fine with that. Be honest with you. We're okay with 10%, right? Now, if it's under 12% here for your new, yeah, move on. Okay. If you get something like this, share it with us. We'll take it down and we'll get you paid. Now, obviously, NODs, NOTs. There's going to be 5 ways to find deals, right? We're talking about that earlier, weren't we? What were we talking about? Basically showing you how to do what? How to find these deals, right? You need to be able to find them with the phone and a list. Okay, once we're done with this, we're going to get into and talk about a little bit about community and how this is going to help you, how we're all working together. Then we want to talk about VIP execs and about the sponsor and how powerful that is. And then we're going to get into wrapping this But I say, yes, it's gold. NODs are freaking gold, right? It's what every investor wants, a distressed situation, a property that is a notice of default, a pre-foreclosure, a notice of trustee sale, a lis pendens, right? Judicial, non-judicial. Don't worry about any of those terms. Sounds fancy, sounds educational. In its simplest form, it's a distressed property where the sellers, it's like, I don't want to even compare it to that. I'm not going to do that, but because it's a valuable asset. It's one of the biggest purchases someone's going to make. Total stress, missed payments. Bank says, hey, we're going to sue to get our money back. That's basically what they're doing with the notice of trustee sale. Public information in other places like Texas, it's non-disclosure. And foreclosures go a lot quicker and faster in Texas. California, there's a process. I'm not going to go through the process. I'm going to say that they're gold, right? I'm going to show you how to work those, okay? Notice of default and notice the trustee sales. They're filed publicly, like I mentioned. You can find these on PropStream, Batch Leads, County Recorder. The sellers are the most urgent, right? They're the most urgent, top of the line, hot lead. Now, some people go to County Recorder's office. You want to get them while they're super fresh. You got to remember, they're going to be a little delusional. They're going to be emotional. Some will be pissed off. So some people can handle that. Some people don't. So for me, no problem. I love it. I love NODs, love all those type of deals, probates, tired landlords, the cool ones, right, and all that good stuff. You're just going to filter them. It's a numbers game. You go through it till someone says, hey, I need some help me, please. Boom. And it's easy peasy, rock and roll all the way through. So if you got to fight for the lead, this, and they're being jerks, what about that? Next, give it to some jabroni out there who's going to kiss their ass and then probably get ripped off and burned. No, thank you. I'm going to make sure that you understand the red flags, and then you decide. Of course, it's your business, so you'll decide, do I want to mess with these people? Do I want to work with this jerk? Do I want to work with this biatch? And all that good stuff, right? It's up to you. Absentee owners, number 2 hottest lead, right? Properties where the owner's mailing address differs from the property address, right? Now, obviously, there are tired landlords who want out, but haven't listed yet. So, tired landlords, yes, if you're brand new, they can kick your ass a little bit and kick your butt because they're what? They are investors. They own property. They're more savvy than you. So you're going to get beat up along the way. So you got to make calls, get good, get better, get excellent, get awesome, and then you'll be able to work with them, right? I don't mind absentee owners. They get it. They're investors, but you're looking for the 1%, 10,000. You want the 1%. Those are the tired landlords, right? You're going to go through a bunch of them, but you want the one that says, man, just write me a check. Cash right now. Please take it, give me cash and take on the tenant because I don't want to mess with it. Or it's vacant and the house is thrashed. Give me some money, right? That's what you're looking for. Not every absentee owner is going to work. Number 3 hottest lead is driving for dollars simply because you're driving the neighborhood. There's 3 to 4. Right now, there used to be 1 or 2. Now there's like 3 or 4 in every block. That means the ugly house. You got tall grass. You got the eaves all falling apart with the paint. You got cars in the front yard, backyard, right? Got all kinds of Dish Network shits all over the house and stuff, right? The house is thrashed. There's a reason why it's thrashed, right? It's called neglect. Life happens. Shit happens. Maybe they inherited the property. Maybe it was a hermit. Maybe it's a hoarder house. Who gives a shit? At the end of the day, the more problems, the more solutions you're going to be able to have, meaning the more money you're going to make. So the simple thing is that driving for dollars list is a specific list to you and to you only because you're driving it. Not everybody else. There's not 2, 3, 4 investors in the area all driving the same neighborhood. There's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of houses in just one neighborhood, right? Even if you live in a small town. But you take all those, you take the address or use the software or whatever, and you're going to build a list. You're going to skip trace. You're going to call. You're going to run it through your CRM. You're going to send some postcards out. If you're already out there, throw a freaking Post-it note on it and work it, right? So then you got to touch it twice. Here's a pro tip for you. When you're talking with sellers or working with sellers, before you even go to the house, you want to touch them 7 times. Even before you're going to make an offer on the fucking phone, touch them 7 times. Oh, I'm on call 1 time and 1 call close. Cool. Awesome. Those are probably like, jacked up houses and, those houses they just want to get sold. And some, probably going to be nice houses. You just got to catch them. It's a numbers game. Catch them at a time when they need to sell. Not want, need to sell. Want to sell is for an agent. Need to sell is what? For investors. Also, we call it here. I should put this as number 3 instead. It's called surfing for deals. It's a coin. It's something we coined several years ago, and it's using this thing here. This iPad laptop is what? It's surfing for deals. Means I'm gonna show you what websites to hit. Gonna give you keywords. Gonna give you a training video. Even gonna give you the template so you can just copy and paste and cheat sheet it. Boom. Do 10 or 15 a day on a lazy day, and your phone's going to blow up with emails and texts and phone calls and voice messages, right? With sellers that are saying, hey, I want to sell, I need to sell, I want to sell, I need to sell. Right? It's a 35% conversion rate still. Yes, you're using elbow grease. There's some software, but it's kind of quirky. It works. Sometimes it don't work and all that good stuff. And then Google kind of messes stuff up for people and messes up the software. So there is some software, and if they changed it, the apps and get an approval, it just depends, right? We used to have some awesome software. I don't recommend it anymore because Google messed it all up and stuff, right? But surfing for deals is the jam, right? And you can do 40 a day if you want. You can do as many as you want. If you just do 20 a day, 5 days a week, and 4 weeks, you're going to have about 100, 150 leads. That's a lot of leads to work, right? And then do the conversions on those, right? You convert a lot of those. If you get 20 submissions, 7 to 8 appointments, 3 to 4 offers, you're going to get 1 to 3 deals a month. Guaranteed. Okay? And let's move to the 4th hottest lead, Liz Pendens, probates, right? And obviously, we all know about probates. I like the probates that are already in a trust because the executor, it's in a trust. They can go straight to selling it. If it has to go to probate, you got to understand the probate game. It's going to take some time. Yes, can you write up the offer? Can you work it? Can you work with attorneys? Yes. Go for it. All right, the last hottest, it's called a warm lead, right? Warm referrals, agents, property managers, attorneys, neighbors. Ask anyone you know, right? Do you know anybody who might be willing to sell their property? And if they're flexible on terms, that's even better, right? So we give you that inside of the Amp Live. It's in the vault. And you can also download the SubTo Deal Automator. It's absolutely free. And it has those 3, I should say 3. It has 3 what? 3 bonuses. So it does have the 5 scripts for NODs, tired landlords. It's going to have a deal analysis for subject to know if you have a subject to deal or not. It's going to have the maximum allowable offer that you can laminate and save and put in your car so you know exactly what you need to be offering when you pop those numbers into the Deal Automator and get your offer popped out in less than 3 months, 3 minutes, and go, okay, yeah, this is a deal. Or maybe it's not a deal. I've gone live here, popped in a couple that we talked to. I say, let's just take this NOD we've been talking to. I didn't do the numbers on it. Let's check it out. And you go, oh, no, it's not a deal. It's freaking upside down. But is it a deal? Yes, it's a short sale. We can still stack those short. Take it, move forward, put the short sale in the pipeline, work it with our VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments, and boom. If we get it approved for the numbers we need, we got ourselves a deal. The agent gets paid. The seller's good to go. If it doesn't, hey, it's okay. Move on. The agent's going to get it sold. The banks can be okay. And the seller's going to be all right. Okay. So that's how to talk to motivated sellers. This is awesome. Okay. 70% talk, 30% you talk. So let them talk. Let them talk, right? It's about asking questions, open-ended questions. Drop in those seeds and then letting them sell you. That's the Amp Live method. So you got to listen, and then only talk about 30% on basically what they're saying, on stuff that you hear. A lot of times when I'm working with mentees, they'll be saying stuff, and we have keywords when we go in there. I may have to say their name. I may have to, whatever keyword it is, to shut them down so we can step in and start pivoting and moving towards a close, right? Because they may have said something that triggered a close. They may have said something where we have to pivot, or the mentee may have promised or said something that they shouldn't, and we have to correct that, right? That just comes from experience over time. All right. So when you talk, yeah, we're talking about dropping those seeds on the table in the back of their mind, and then they're going to be going, okay, I get this. I understand what we're doing here. And then they start selling you. Yes, can you pay off my car? Can you pay off my credit cards? I need about $20,000 to do this. I want to go buy another house. So the negotiation process starts from the seeds that we drop into the back of their mind, which is the Amp Live method when you understand this. And then we drop our ego and say, man, that is, guys and gals, hey, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, seller, that's an awesome idea. You want me to do what? Can you explain that to me again? You want me to do this, this, and this? Okay, one more time. That was, make sure we're clear here. We'll do it up to 3 times. So then they're repeating it back to us 3 times, and it gets better and better. So now they're from going from this to like, they got their chest out going, yeah, this is what's going on. This is what I need. Okay, awesome. All right, we'll break out the numbers. All right, somebody learned from, this is an old school type of thing, right? But we'll go, here you go. He said, I suck at math, so I use a calculator. One more time. Can you go ahead and punch that in there? Go ahead. Let them punch in the numbers. So then they're punching in the numbers, this and that and that. Let me see. Okay, that's how much you need. That's what okay, no problem. No, let's see if we can make it happen. And then we step out, we discuss it, and we come back. We only give them about 90, 95% of what is on the table. Never give them 100%. Can't. Shouldn't. Not smart. Right? Because then they'll just takes, like putting candy on the table. Put candy on the table, when you put a kid there, they're going to take the candy even if you tell them no. So you don't do that. You take the bowl away. Hey, this is what we can do. We can do this. We can do this. But we can't do this. We can't do this. Called the takeaway. Right? This is sales 101. It's the Amp Lab method. And we keep going, right? The goal of the call is not to make an offer on the phone unless you know it's a no-brainer and you can get an offer and it's going to be a juicy offer, then you go for it. Otherwise, the goal is to get in front of the seller. The goal is to get what? To get an appointment. Get an appointment. To be able to go to the property, knock it out valley to valley and rock that deal and get an awesome, juicy, fat deal that you can take down, make some money, or sell off to an investor. All right, subject 2, how it works. First and foremost, you find a motivated seller. Easy peasy. Number 2, verify the loan. Number 3, calculate SubTo maximum allowable offer. Number 4, negotiate and sign the deal. And 5, execute exit strategy. Is it going to be buy and hold? Are you going to keep it? Is it going to be fix and flip? Are you going to sell it off? Are you going to say, you know what? Let me see if I can get qualified through VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments. Let me get a hard money loan. Let me fix it up. Let me go get some private money that I'm going to learn how to do through Erick Jimenez and Amp Live or AHA and how to raise that capital cash. So you can come in and fix it up and then put it on the market and resell it. Or if it's going to be a bird method, you're going to say, no, I'm going to fix it up. And then I'm going to go get a DSCR loan through VIPexecs Lending. Pull some cash out so I go buy another property. So I got the money now. Put it in my tenant. Cash flow. Rinse and repeat. All right. So the deal funding, this is super important because we're actually going to get into this on the next segment. I'm going to share a couple of things with you. Are we at? What is this? Oops. Let me see what we got. All right. We're kind of on schedule. All right. So here we go. Okay. Almost. Yep. Got a few more minutes. We got some time here. We're going to talk about deal funding and lending. All right. So it's the funding and lending aspect of this, right? Your funding partner from day one is VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments. When you onboard, that's going to be part of the onboarding process. And then you're going to be introduced to VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments, but the lending division of that. Hard money lending, 48 hours, fast approval. Funding as little as 48 hours for acquisition, rehab, fix and flip, and SubTo. Also, it's going to be available if you need to, get a 30-year fixed, or you're going to put it on the market. They can list it for you. And even when they list it, at least they'll have the lending aspect so they can do what? Try to get your buyers funded. Even if, or at least knowing if it's a solid deal or not, because a lot of deals fall out at escrow because they're a bank as well as Fargo, as Bank of America, or it's a direct lender that cannot do the deal. VIPexecs Realty Lending Investments is a brokerage, right? So you get better deals, better rates, better guidelines, better everything at the end of the day. And it's going to get sold off to a secondary market anyways. So that's why it used to be the opposite, right? Brokers had to pay in fees and it was expensive. And then, the direct lending was the way to go in the last cycle. Then it flip-flopped. So brokers are the way to go. They get all the deals and discounts and all that good stuff and able to give money back to the buyer and all that kinds of stuff. And the direct lenders or the banks are the ones that are pretty much stuck in a box and they cannot move from that. But for the 30-year conventional exit, refinance out of a hard money loan, which is your BRRRR method, right? SubTo loan into permanent conventional financing when the deal is stabilized. A full cycle, the BRRRR funding, right? Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. That's if you're wondering what the acronyms meant or what the abbreviation meant. BRRRR, right? There it is. VIPexecs funds every stage of the BRRRR cycle. And then you have some bridge lending if you need it, right? Every AMP Live, American Mentee, Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator student, and American Mentee program mentee is introduced to VIP execs before their first deal hits. Super important, okay? Now, I believe I'm going to have to move forward with this a little quicker. So these, I'm not going to get into all these modules because we talked about that earlier and what's going to happen. And obviously what it includes, you already know because we went through it with the full offer stack. And the full offer stack is paying full at $1,997. You can make 3 payments of $747. It comes out to $2,300 some change. If we're carrying for you through AMP Live Media and financing that for you in-house, which is something we're willing to do. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about, obviously we started talking about VIPexecs Realty Lending, right? This is our presenting sponsor. And more important, what? They're introduced to you on day one of the funding partner inside of the accelerator. It's inside the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, right? It's hard money, bridge lending, everything that I just mentioned, right? And when you find the deal, when you find the deal, it's in module number 2. You can structure it with module number 4, analyze it with module number 3. VIP execs is the reason you can execute it, right? Hand it off to VIP execs, let them rock and roll, and they can, obviously the broker's not here right now, so I just wanted to share that with you and put it in the slides and then go from there so you can actually understand what exactly you're getting. And that's back here, right here, right? There it is, the full funding structure for you, which means now there's no excuse. So you know that you can get in because we'll finance, or you can put it on a Visa, American Express, MasterCard and go ahead and do the $1,997, right? You can, what else? You got money for funding, you got money for conventional, you got the real estate brokerage side if you want to list the property after you fix it and then list it. Heck, if you're all the way up to the 90 percentile per 90 cents on the dollar and you want to novate it, you can run it through where? Yes, VIPexecs Realty and be able to get it sold. Even if it's a luxury property, you can do that too and novate it and make those fatter checks, right? So let me go ahead and share this with you real quick. We're going to move to the next segment and we'll go from there. I believe it is. 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up in a second. Let me see, make sure I got you on the right slide. And I'm going to do this right here. And then we're going to go ahead and do All right, we're back. Had to fill up a little bit of H2O and got another extra one here. And then we're going to get into it, right? So we're already into it. So I do appreciate you watching. The links are in the chat and all that good stuff. Next, we're going to wrap up a couple of things. So I wanted to just make sure that we're eye to eye here. Put these things back on. I'm going to get with, let me see some captions here. We're going to put this up here. If you need the hashtag Get Erick Paul Live, you can do that. Obviously, we have the AMP Live Accelerator. And that's what this is about, to help you get a deal. Why mentoring is, yes, why it matters in real estate. I'll share this with you because this is going to end at midnight tonight in a few hours, I guess, several hours. I don't know, what is we at? 8 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time here. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 hours, and it's gone forever. 1,997. Then tomorrow, our 1201 is going to be 12,997. You can scan the QR code right there. And then obviously we're going to be filling up our Amp Live American Mentee program. That's a different jam. There's only about 5 spots for that. You also will get access to the vault, live standard vault, and the upgraded vault. Everything you need to close your first, second, third, or fourth deal, contracts, LOIs, seller scripts, deal checklist, deal and analyzer tools, not just the SubTo fix and flip, but yes, you can figure out your hard money, not your hard money, but your wholesale deals and other types of structured deals. Obviously, you're going to get access to this. And that's going to be our Amp Live Real Estate Investor Meetup. Yes, it'll be on here. It's usually on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. I know we're moving some stuff to Thursdays. We're actually changing our programming for the Amp Live TV and Amp Live Real Estate Show. Yes, and podcasts. We'll be rolling out podcasts with guests and things of that nature. You're going to get your butt on there so you can share your wares. Content is the name of the game. It's the new currency. But you're actually also going to get Allie on here, which is the broker for VIPexecs Realty and Lending and Investments, and her passion is aligned with my passion and what we do to help our fellow Americans. And obviously Amp Live TV, a simple plug for Amp Live TV, always real, raw, and standing for truth, home of the Amp Live Real Estate Show. And I believe I'm going to go ahead and pull that other slide back up with the, let me see what I want to do here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to share this with you, right? And we're going to close it up and then do what we need to do. I believe we'll do if you have any questions or if you're on here and you see this Q&A, you can always DM if you watch this back and forth and you weren't able to make it for this actual live, then you can just ask all the questions right you'd like. But every question I'm gonna do my best to answer them for you, right? And all that other good stuff and anything that you want to ask about the program, as well as any other questions that are related to real estate, period, definitely let me know. And now we're going to get into the final parts here. Though we got a few minutes. Now I got some time looking at my timer here. All right. So before I tell you about the accelerator, I want you to imagine something specific, okay? And then we're going to get into everything here, all right? And I want to make sure that we're all good to go on everything. And let you know that I'm going to share with you some personal stuff. I already have shared a lot of personal stuff and how I got started. And so I understand where you're coming from, what you feel, and been there, kind of, as they say, done that, right? Make sure what we got here. I'll go all the way back up here. I'm going to show any of the other slides. You kind of know what's going on for the Sunday sermon. And obviously, I'm going to share this with you. This is till 19. This is till the end of what? Become a deal maker in 30 days till the end of midnight. All right. So let me go ahead and rock and roll this together. Okay. So we got here. All righty. Okay. All right, make sure my phone, we're all good to go. Cool, give me some water. But before I tell you about the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, right, I want you to imagine something specific, right? And I kind of shared this before, but in 90 days from tonight, you've been through the system. You've made all the calls. You've had the conversations. You've run the numbers on houses in your market, because that's what the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator is going to do for you, right? One of them worked. Oh my God, right? Kind of like today. I made a phone call, made some calls. I was on calls, making calls. Then boom, gentleman answered. And we started talking about his property. He was like, awesome. I love it. I love his tone. Hey, how are you doing? He actually must have, and I looked at the notes. It's like, yes, it was a follow-up. We followed up with him. He knew my name. He knew the number. He already knew what was going on, and he was in a better predicament, and he had at least an idea of what he needed to do, and we're able to get all the information and work a full submission, right? And then underwrite it and see where we're at. So one of them worked. That's what's going to happen. One of them worked, right? I want you to imagine what that feels like. Not the money, the feeling, right? The feeling of calling your spouse and saying it closed. The feeling of depositing a check that you created without a boss, without a permission slip, without a bank's approval. The feeling of knowing in your body, not just your head, that you can do this, that you did this. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know it's like to have a check and then show it to your wife and go, check it out. Look what I did. Look at this. This is the key. This is the secret. This is the future for us. The feeling of what it was like, I should say that feeling is what the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator is designed to produce. It's not just education, right? It's that moment. And that's the moment that's going to fuel you and keep on moving forward. As I always say, take that check, cash it, go do something you've never, ever done before in your entire life. Go spend $400 or $500 on a dinner with your wife or your family, or take your whole family out and go spend $1,000. Go do something, say, let's get up and pick up. We're going to this place so-and-so, and we don't even have a reservation. We don't even have a room, but we're going. And you go do it. Go on an adventure. And then come back and put the rest back into your business. And then we say, Eric, that was awesome. Cool. Thank you. Boom. Shoot us a testimonial. I'm just kidding. No, for reals. Shoot us a testimonial. Video are written, right? And then boom, we're going to get back to work and go after and start continuing to build, because now we're going to put some money back into your business. Now you're over, we're rocking and rolling, right? Now, let me tell you exactly what you get, right? In the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. Here's what you get inside. 9 modules of the complete creative real estate investing system, plus the coaching and the one-on-one mentoring that I promised you. SubTo, from the legal framework to the closing table, seller finance, wholesale, and assignment. Lease options, motivated seller acquisition, the NOD list, the absentee owner list, the scripts, the objection handlers, deal analysis with the SubTo fix and flip calculator. Know your maximum allowable offer in 3 minutes on any house in any market. All of it structured, sequential, actionable is the main key word. They're actionable. VIPexecs Realty and Lending, our presenting sponsor and your day one deal funder partner. Hard money, Burr, bridge lending. When you find the deal, they fund it. That relationship alone, if you had to go find a hard money lender on your own, would cost you months of relationship building and deal by deal evaluation. It's inside the program from day number 1. AHA School Community, a live full, or I should say it's a room full of investors doing this alongside you. Post your deals, get involved, get real feedback from me personally and from the community. The accountability that turns information into action, action, action. Attack, 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 win, win, win. And plus, with what we're doing on this Pacific all the way up until midnight, there'll be one-on-one mentoring. I'll be working with you exclusively. There'll be live coaching. The 30-day challenge, structured to get you a deal under contract. If you do what you need to do, follow directions, and I know you can punch your way out of a paper bag, right? Execute, you're going to get results. You're going to get something under contract. Or a deal reviewed by me personally within 30 days of starting the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. Not a passive curriculum, a forcing function. This is what this is about. Lifetime access, every single module, every update, every new piece of content I add going forward, you pay once and you have it forever. And get my personal cell phone. When you're about to make your first offer, text me. That is what the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Charter membership means. If you want to go out, if you went out and probably bought the best SubTo course on the market, that's $5,000 to $10,000, $15,000. The best motivated seller system, maybe $3,000 or so. A wholesaling program, $5,000 to $7,000. A lease option program, $3,000 to $5,000. Mastermind group with real feedback, $10,000 a year minimum. A hard money relationship takes months to build. A structured deal accountability program, $6,000 or more. lifetime access to a community, ongoing fees, obviously, indefinitely. Just like a what? Country club. They're not cheap. Cost money every year. Plus the dinners and everything else and the golf. What I just described to you, conservatively, is a $25,000 to $30,000 value if you assembled it yourself and put it together and try to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. In most cases, you couldn't. I guarantee it. Because the integration is the valve. The system is the valve. The coaching, the mentoring is the valve. Having all of it in one place, in one sequence, with one community is what makes it work. It makes it work. Hopefully you're writing this stuff down. Grab a pen, grab your phone, and write this stuff down. So what is all of this? What does all of that cost? 25,000? No. 10,000? No. 5,000? Still no. The Amp Live Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator is $1,997 tonight. One payment. Full immediate access to everything I just described. Or you can make 3 payments of $747 through Amp Live Media, who's going to finance you. The first payment tonight, full immediate access, okay? From the moment you pay. Same program, spread out over time in payments. $1,997. That's less than a month of a car payment for a lot of people. That is less than 1 week of a halfway decent salary. That is less than the cost of a single bad real estate decision made without the right system. And if you close one wholesale deal for Module 6, the average assignment fee in the AHA community and throughout the United States of America statistically ranges from $5,000 to $20,000 if you're in the Midwest, Southern California, East Coast, West Coast. About the same thing. Maybe they're about $10,000, $15,000 to $25,000 plus. The program pays for itself in one deal. Pays for itself in one deal. Let me ask you something, truthfully. What if the Amp Live Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator did only one thing? What if it taught you nothing except how to find one freaking motivated seller, have one SubTo conversation, and structure one deal, just one, in the next 90 days? What would one deal cover? What would one deal cover? Or would one deal, I should say. Would one deal cover $1,997? The answer? You know the answer. The answer is yes. By 3 to 10 times over. That's the floor, right? That is the absolutely worst case scenario when you only use Module 2 and Module 4 and nothing else, and the program closes one deal, along with our coaching and mentoring to help you make that happen. So your odds are even greater than they've ever been with any other program. I guarantee it. Promise you that. As long as you show up to the party, punch your way out of a paper bag, follow directions, have a leap of faith, take action and execute, it'll happen. The ceiling, someone who goes through all 9 modules, uses VIPexecs funding, builds a deal pipeline with the motivated seller system, and holds 2 or 3 SubTo properties, that ceiling is a life-changing outcome. It was for me. All from $1,997 investment. And remember, this is an investment in you, an investment in us as we're working together. That's what this program is designed to do. It's a hybrid of our one-on-one mentoring program. That's why I know it works. You're not gambling. That's the awesome thing about that, because I don't like to gamble when we're doing real estate. Okay, we break down those numbers. I'm going to share those things with you. Even when we partner up and do deals together, we need to be solid. You're buying a system and a program with a documented floor and an extraordinary ceiling. The risk is not in buying the program. The risk is not having the system or program, the coaching, the mentoring, when the right deal is sitting right in front of you and you don't even know what to do with it. Some people don't even know they have a deal, because what you don't know is what you don't know, but we do know what we know. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. All right, so let's keep on rocking and rolling. Here's what I need you to understand about tonight's deadline. This is not a sales tactic. I made a public commitment. Here it is. This is why I made a public commitment when I built the Charter, the Amplified Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator price ladder. Founder spots are already set. 1,997 Charter, 12,997 regular. The founder spots are closed. That proved the ladder is real. Tonight at midnight, the Charter tier closes. Tomorrow morning, not next week, tomorrow morning, the regular price is $12,997 permanently. That is an $11,000 decision that expires at midnight. Now, I'm not telling you to feel pressured. I'm telling you the truth. Remember, Amp Live is real, raw, and stands for truth. So you have all the information. That's why I'm telling you this. Because if I let you think about it for maybe a week, you come back and say, I'm ready, I would have to charge you $12,997. I don't want to do that. So I'm telling you now, while it's $1,997 and still have hours to decide. Tonight at midnight, that's the deadline. I always give people 24-hour, used to with the mentor-mentee program, still, and move forward. You know what happens after a day, 2, 3, 4 days go by, a week goes by, you talk yourself out of it. That's not going to get you rocking and rolling and winning. So 2 ways to get in right now. Option 1, full pay at $1,997. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. It's already in there, but I'm going to put it in again because I love being rocking and rolling style. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up pretty soon. I appreciate you watching. But you get full immediate access. You're inside in about 5 minutes. Onboarding is automatic. It's easy. You create an account. Boom, you're in. Onboarding is easy peasy. Option 2 payment plan. 3 payments of $747 through Amp Live Media. First payment tonight locks in your charter pricing, your Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing charter pricing, and gives you full immediate access. Same program. Both links are in the chat right now. Or at least the first link is. If you need a payment plan, let me know. Let us know. And we'll make that happen because that is in-house. I'm going to go ahead. Hey, you know what? There's probably going to be questions. I guarantee it, right? If you have questions, DM me. I'm not watching everything in this chat, but if you need to get a hold of me, shoot a DM. Hit the post. But those links are live, and they're staying live until midnight tonight. And I'm going to shut it down. Or the prices are going to change to $12,997. That's what's going to happen. Now, if you've been watching this show for the last 90 minutes or so, and something in you says, this is the right move, that feeling is right. I always say, trust it. The link is in the chat. The commitment is tonight, midnight. Okay? Midnight. I always say, go with your gut. Your gut says go, let's roll. Then it's execution time. Then it's rock and roll time. Then it's let's get in the ring. We're going to train to get you in the ring so we can kick some butt. Heck, we like jumping in the ring with our mentees and students. That is no lie. All right, let me check some out real quick. Hello. So hopefully that was a wonderful ride and an awesome journey. You can snooze or lose. Midnight tonight, it is gone. Scan the QR code right there and lock in your spot. Pennies on the dollar. An investment that's going to make you a lot of money. The sky, or should say the roof, is unlimited. There is no roof on this. It's not like a JOB. There's no roof. Sky's the limit based on you. It's action based. Boom, there it is. Does that mean we're done? The church bells have rung. Awesome. Let me make sure that we're all good to go here. And let me see what we got. All right. So, as I always say, right? Rock and roll in all that you do. In God we trust. Tonight at midnight, that's the deadline, like I've been mentioning. The link's in the chat. It's been in the chat for 90 freaking minutes or so. If you're still here, you're watching, watch it backwards, forwards, do what you need to do, pray on it, talk with your spouse, or you're like me, you know what you're supposed to do, right? You know what you're supposed to do when you know. For me, boom, I just move. I know when there's opportunity, I knock down the door and I go after it. All right, I'll see you inside. I will wrap it up with this. God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. Rock and roll in all what you do. In God we trust. And like